I'll start with you, Rufai Oseni, over there in Abuja. Your thoughts on all the comments that I have raised so far?
Audrey, it's a dark time for our country. But you know, what is even scary for all of us, and for me particularly, is the fact that President Tinubu has not even deemed it fit to be able to go there. If that place is just about 10 kilometers to Nasarawa, then it shouldn't take more than a 2-3 hour journey from Abuja. Why hasn't President Tinubu gone straight to where this has happened? Between 2023 and 2025, if you are to do a cumulative sum total of the deaths in Benue, it's well over 3,000 based on different sources from Amnesty to the likes. In fact, some reports are saying that up till about April this year, the death toll was already over 500. If Yellowater had over 200 people, then what are we seeing? We're seeing mass carnage happening in our country, and our leaders are not saying anything about it. They're just saying, oh, the governor should intervene. He should talk to them. So it's so easy for the governor to intervene, and he has not intervened all this while. When the top military chief came there, what did he do? What solution did he bring to the problem? Till today, who is going to account for the children that are charred? I was talking about DNA. A lot of people feel, oh, in Nigeria, does that work? But shouldn't we account for the children that were charred to death in those videos? Over 1,000 households displaced. That's over 6,000 people. Thousands of men, thousands of women and children. We have a crisis on our hands, and everybody moves ahead like nothing is happening. Till today, the president has not visited. The question, like I asked before, is how many people must die in an incident for the president to visit? In Niger, were hundreds of people too. About 1,000 people couldn't be accounted for in Niger floods. The president didn't visit. So what must it take? Should it be 1,000? Should it be 10,000? Is it that people are not dying enough in all of this crisis? And if the commander-in-chief is saying the governor should go in there, why do we subject our sovereignty to him to provide security as enshrined in the Constitution? Section 14(2)(b). Because the reason why we have a commander-in-chief and we subject our sovereignty to him is, as the head of state, should be able to coalesce all the forces of state to provide security at a time where there's insecurity. So this has continued. If we were to flip the script, many years to this time, maybe 2014, I'm sure President Tinubu never gave Goodluck Jonathan breathing space. He kept on reminding him that you're commander-in-chief. Get something done about it. And then when you look at it now, protesters that are protesting, you think those people were so happy just to go out there to protest the killings of their own people? The police could tear gas them, and you have helicopters hovering around. But how about fighting the people that are committing this mayhem? President Tinubu, I would rather that we look at solving the problems in Benue and other parts of the country, rather than this political talk of endorsement here and there as regards the 2027 presidency. Don't we have a heart in this country? Is it because it doesn't come close to us? Really? Is that the country we have built so insensitive to the plight of people? Just imagine if you were called that your dearest and your closest died in Benue.
Finally, government, whether state or federal, has a responsibility to ensure the safety of Nigerians. I said earlier on, Section 14, 2A, sub 2A, talks about the sovereignty belonging to the Nigerian people. It reiterates it, which means that this country called Nigeria, the people are the most important element. Their sovereignty belongs to them. Right. In 14(2)(b), the Constitution says the safety and welfare of Nigerians, of all these people, including you and I, shall be the responsibility of government. Shall in law is obligatory. It's not an opinion.
It is a fact now, not something we can mince words about anymore. We have a crisis in our hands. We have a security crisis in our hands, and we have a crisis of leadership in our hands. We have a very bad leadership. As a matter of fact, the question Nigerians are asking, do we really have a president? It is very, very clear that what we see daily, Nigerians dying, and we daily see why Nigerians did not want Bola Tinubu as president from the beginning. Nigerians, our lives don't matter. Our lives don't have value in the eyes and in the hands of this current president. It is a fact. Rufai Oseni asked the question, how many more would die? So the question is, who is next? Who's next? Which community is next to die? Which community is next to be burnt alive? Look at children burnt, women burnt in the middle of the night when they sleep. We have an incompetent president and an incompetent presidency in our. Tinubu is a mistake that should never happen to any nation. This was a statement they made about Buhari before. But this Bola Tinubu is a mistake that should never happen to any country. Grossly incompetent. If it is to seize power from another state where everything is relatively peaceful, he will swing in. And now he's telling it, oh, okay, how is the governor meant to dialogue with terrorists? You're asking the governor to go and dialogue with terrorists. He not deemed it fit to go to Niger State, not far, where this flood happened. He didn't go there. How do you think? It's only by public criticism he's saying this. He's going to go there on Wednesday. People died over the weekend. He's going there on Wednesday. Can you see the kind of president we have in Nigeria? We have a crisis on our hands. How many more people must die, Bola Tinubu, for you to visit those people? How many more people must die for this insurgency, terrorism to stop? Before I ask the question, just imagine somebody you know or loved was declared dead in this carnage. So we have to agree that we have an incompetent president in Nigeria. Who's going to give account for the children that were burnt? Who's going to give account for the lives that were taken? Recklessly, ruthlessly taken. We're not at war. We have a lot of displaced people in our country. This president is incompetent. This president is incapable. Who would die next? Who would die next? So INEC, can you see what you gave Nigeria? If this thing is not pain, if you're not pained by this thing, if this thing is not hurting you, if you don't feel the hurt, the annoyance of these reckless killings, and this incapacitation of our presidency, oh, what else will move you? When you have a president who cannot move, you understand the value of lives. When somebody feels it and makes steps and takes action to fix the problem. Since 2023, this man has not visited one place where death has happened in Nigeria. He's been condemning since 2023. 2 years later, he's still condemning. When natural disaster happened, he didn't even visit them. Can you imagine the sort of leadership that we have in our country? So who's going to die next? Who's going to die? So I say it again, Bola Tinubu is the president that should never happen to Nigeria. This government is the government that should never happen to Nigeria. And then they're calling for 2027. The same people are going to come out the next day and campaign and say, this man is doing transformative leadership. All of you who are supporters of Bola Tinubu, who are saying this man is transformative in his leadership style, please account to all Nigerians how you think he's transformative in his leadership. This government is grossly incompetent. Nigerians, we don't have value in the hands of this APC government. We've never had value in their hands from Buhari's time up to now. For 10 years, we've not had value in their hands. And they don't see Nigerians fit as people who feel fit to live. That's why they killed a lot of people during the protests. This APC, a government of menace on the people. While they're meant to arrest the people and deal with the terrorists, they leave them alone. You now shoot tear gas at protesters who are shouting, "Save us." They're protesting because they need government to help them. And the same government is shooting them with tear gas and cannons. What else must they do? What else must Nigerians do for us to have value in the hands of this government? What else? Tinubu is a mistake to Nigeria. So if I ask the question, how many more must die? Bola Tinubu. I'm actually saying this. You know what? If you check my previous videos, I've been talking about the people suffering in the hands of this government. And I said it, the people in the villages, the people in their local communities. They've been suffering. Don't keep quiet, because it might be your next community. It might be your village that they will go to next. It might be your house that they will burn down next. See, the houses of people they burn down, but people right in there, children. You have to be dead to your soul for you to actually burn down children. And then we have a government telling the state governor to be a statesman to resolve the crisis among them. Who are the people that the state government want to go and meet to say, why are you burning other people down? This is why Ali Baba said, Nigeria is a country that permits corruption and lets it to fester and then destroys everything. The reason for this lack of value of people's lives is because of our government, our politicians, who are so corrupt. All they can see is how much they can steal. So who will die next, Bola Tinubu? I'm asking all of you in the comment section as well. What do you think? How do we fix this problem? We have to make sure that we get this government out in 2027. Nigeria is burning in their hands, and the Nigerians, the lives of Nigerians has no value in the hands of Bola Tinubu. Because if it does, this government would have fixed it. So who will die next before this government fixes the problem of security in Nigeria? Again, leave your comment in the comment section. I'll catch up in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.